In last half a decade, we have seen so many public service commissions in our country delaying its papers because of the news of paper getting leaked or cheating taking place. But now a step has been taken by the Uttarakhand government to revolutionize this concept of cheating or the paper getting delayed in our state. Hello and welcome to the Infocus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video we will be discussing about the Uttarakhand's new anti-cheating law. So in Uttarakhand, a law has been passed recently by the government where the anti-cheating law, the cheating in the state which has been taking place since last half a decade, has been noticed and a strict action has been taken or against it or to prevent it. So let us understand the timeline of the video. First, we will be looking at the news. Then what are the provisions of the anti-cheating law in Uttarakhand? Then applicant found cheating will be, what are the steps that will be taken against an applicant if he or she is found cheating? Then what are the issues with the academic cheating and what are the benefits which are provided by these kind of laws which are passed against cheating? Then what has happened in the Uttar Pradesh anti-cheating law of 1992, and then in the end a mains practice question. This topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 2, that is government policies. See, from exam perspective and especially from the mains perspective and essay perspective, you should be able to know about what are the provisions of the anti-cheating law or what are its benefits, and about the Uttar Pradesh anti-cheating law of 1992. So let's get started and see the news. And the news has been taken from Indian Express, and it says fine of rupees 10 crore life term. What is Uttarakhand new anti-cheating law? So first we will be knowing that what is the anti-cheating law and why is it that the fine of rupees 10 crore, this is a huge fine, and a life term can also be given under it, that if a person or an institution or an agency would be found or would be caught cheating, then a term of life term and 10 crore rupees fine would be imposed on this. So let us understand the anti-cheating law in detail. So what has happened is the Uttarakhand Competitive Entrance Examination measures for control and prevention of unfair means in recruitment Ordinance 2023. This has been passed by the government and has also been passed recently by the governor of the state. So what has happened is, under this Uttarakhand Competitive Examination measures for control and prevention of unfair means in recruitment Ordinance, this has provision. Under this law, there is a provision of fine up to rupees 10 crore and punishment of life imprisonment if a person or an organization is found guilty. And now there have been continuous agitation against multiple paper leaks in Uttarakhand since 2016. So what has happened is, in the state of Uttarakhand, since the year 2016, many a times the State Public Service Commission has tried to conduct examination, but because of the leakage of paper or because of the problems of cheating taking place, the exam was not being able to held properly. And there are many other examples also in the past. I think last year only there was one Public Service Commission whose paper was leaked, and because of it the paper got delayed. And the problem is that the paper does not get delayed by a month or so. The huge time gap that takes, if a paper is leaked on such a large scale, then it takes almost a time period or a gap of around 6 months, and many a times it has been seen that even an year's gap has also been seen. So let us know about the provisions of the anti-cheating law. So the word itself tells you what is it. Anti-cheating law. So something which is against cheating. So if a person is cheating in an exam or using unfair means to pass in an exam, so something which can stop those measures or some steps which can stop that cheating or that leakage of paper or that unfair practices which people uses, something which will stop it or something which will prevent all these practices. So this law, the anti-cheating law, will also do the same. Then this anti-cheating law is applicable to public examinations for recruitment to post under the, so what all comes under it is state government, autonomous bodies which are run by the state government, and authorities, corporations and institutions which are operated with grants of the state government. So these are the organizations which comes under this law. Then any examinee is caught cheating or using another examinee to cheat in a competitive examination. So people, if any of the person who is performing the unfair practices itself, or anyone who would be caught cheating from some other person, will also be included in this, and what will happen to them is imprisonment of 3 years with a minimum fine of rupees 5 lakh. So these are the punishment for these people if the person is caught cheating or is causing another examinee to cheat in a competitive examination. And if the fine is not paid, then the examinee shall be jailed for another 9 months. So these are the provisions of the anti-cheating law. Then if any person, printing press, service provider contracted or ordered for examination, management for conducting an examination, or any person and organization authorized to keep and transport the examination material, or any employee of the examination authority, limited liability partnership, coaching center, or any of these institutions has indulged in conspiracy or unfair means, then they shall be punished with a jail term of not less than 10 years, which may extend up to life imprisonment. So see, any person or any organization or the school staff where the paper is taking place, or any agency which is involved with the paper or passing of the paper, or any invigilator which is standing in the exam hall, if any of those person, if they are caught or if it is found that they are indulged in any of the unfair practices or cheating taking place, then these people will be punished with a jail term of not less than 10 years, and which can extend up to even life imprisonment. So the state of Uttarakhand has taken a very serious and a very strict step to stop the process of cheating which was happening in their state, and this step is something which will give hope to the students who are giving exam and is on every single year and every passing year they are dependent on these exams to form their future. So the government of Uttarakhand has taken a strict and a very relevant measure when it comes to the problem of cheating or the using of the unfair means in the examination. Now let us talk about the applicant found cheating will be, what will happen to the applicant who is found cheating, or the person who is giving the examination and then the person is found cheating, what will happen to that person? Then he or she will be debarred for 2 to 5 years from the date of the charge sheet. So the date the charge sheet is filed, from that date the person who, the applicant who is found to be cheating, would be debarred for 2 to 5 years. And if the person gets convicted for that offense, then in case of the conviction, from all competitive exams for 10 years. So if the applicant found convicted, then for 10 years the person will not be able to give competitive examinations. Then all the properties earned using unfair means will be seized from the person. And then the offenses are cognizable, non-bailable and non-compoundable. And the person will not be able to even get the bail in these cases if the conviction takes place. So these are few of the very strict measures that has been taken by the Uttarakhand government, and the governor has also given its nod. So the anti-cheating law are something which is going to bring a revolution in the state of Uttarakhand when it comes to the examination cycle, and the cheating which was used to happen and the unfair measures which was used by the people will now, hopefully in future, we will not be able to see those instances. Now let us talk about what are the issues with the academic cheating or copying. Now what are the issues? first and foremost is, if a person is cheating in an examination or is using the unfair means to pass from the examination, this is what causes the problem with the merit list, because all the people who are not using any unfair means and is putting their hard work and dedication in passing the examination, while on the other hand there are people who are using unfair means, they are doing cheating, and then they are also having the leaked paper in their own hands. So there this becomes unfair on the part of the real and a hard working candidate, and the merit also does not actually defines the true potential of the people or the candidate. Then unfair advantage, then all the people or the applicants who are doing cheating and using unfair means, they have an undue advantage over others who are not able to do that, because by using unfair means they are able to get the paper very easily in their own hands, and they can prepare accordingly also. Then this process of cheating which is happening on every passing year or every alternate year, what this does is discourages the people or the applicant who are not involved in any of the sculpturous problems, or who are not involved in any of the wrong activities, while it's totally dependent on its hard work and dedication, determination for passing of the examination. So they feel dejected and they feel terrible, because on the other hand the time which they have given for the preparation of the examination also passes by, and every single year the result is getting delayed and the examinations are also not able to take place. So this becomes very discouraging from the part of the people who are actually putting their hard work into their preparation. Then lack of personal growth, because if the time period of the examination will increase, then the number of years passing by would also increase, and if the number of years passing by would increase, this will also become unfair on the part of the age of the candidate or the applicant, because this is also restricting the personal growth of the person who is involved in the examination cycle and who is dependent on these examinations for their future growth. Then this was about the issues. Now let's talk about what will be the few benefits which will be provided by these anti-cheating law. So few of the benefits is credibility of the education system. So if there are few of the laws that the people who would be involved in this unfair activities, they will feel terrified and they will feel scared of these laws, that if they would be caught, then a serious repercussions they have to face. Then discourages cheating, because all of the people who are involved in this, if they will know that if even in the slightest of measures they get caught, then there are punishments which are very severe, and those punishment, and if they get caught, is something which will destroy their future. So this will definitely discourage all the people who would be thinking of getting involved in these kind of activities. Ensures quality of academics is maintained, because if these kind of strict measures or laws would be passed, then this will encourage all the people who have evolved over the years and have put in their hard work and dedication over the years to pass in these examinations and make a future for themselves. Then encourages ethical behavior. This is a very important point, and because the behavior part, that if the student would be thinking in their own mind that okay, we are going to give the examination, but in that examination if we will have the feeling that paper will be getting leaked or cheating would be taking place in some of the other centers, then what will we feel? Do we have the faith in the system? No, we won't be having the faith in the system. So these kind of laws which are passed in, for example, in the state of Uttarakhand, will work as that the credibility and the faith in the institution or in the system would increase from the part of the applicant or the candidates. And the behavior or the ethical behavior, the moral, the principles of the applicants would also be getting encouraged, when they would know that yes, if we are indulged in any of the wrong activities, the repercussions that we have to face is very, very high and very, very strict and harsh, which have the capacity or the ability to disturb our future. Then they won't be able to indulge themselves into unfair means and practices to pass an examination. before the Uttarakhand government, there was this anti-cheating law which was passed in the state of Uttar Pradesh in the year 1992. So during the time of late 80s and early 90s in the state of Uttar Pradesh, there was also many instances which was seen that the cheating was taking place, paper was getting leaked, and due to this the paper was getting delayed for years and years to come. So this is what was causing a problem to the reputation of the state also. And at that point of time, seeing this problem of cheating taking place in the examination and unfair measures which was used by the applicants, and the powerful applicants can get the paper leaked and then they were able to give the paper and pass the examination. So seeing that problem rising in the state, the Uttar Pradesh government came up with the anti-cheating law. During the 1980s and 90s, public examination in Uttar Pradesh frequently witnessed allegations of cheating involving officials, teachers, students, and even local gangsters. So the problem was so severe that even the local gangsters was involved in this. And the instances of the school teachers where the examination was being held was very much in news. Then the government promulgated a stringent anti-cheating act in the state. And the aim of the act was to end the practice of mass copying in school and university examination, because this problem of copying from the other applicant or from the other candidate, and even many a times we have heard that the books was found within the examination center. So this was causing a lot of problem in the state of Uttar Pradesh during the 90s, during the 80s and the 90s. Then this law or this act of anti-cheating act, what it did was it contained a provision that any student found copying would be handcuffed and sent to jail. And while hearing about this act, that if anyone would be found cheating in the examination hall or would be found involved in any kind of unfair measures, then the person would be handcuffed and will end up in the end in the jail. This is what brought the question mark in the minds of the people who was involved in the unfair practices, that whether we should do this or not, because the end result or the punishment which was there in the act, that the person who would be found involved in the unfair practices would end up in jail, was something which scared the people's involvement in this. Now before moving to the mains practice question, that Drishti IAS is coming up with the IAS prelims CSET quick revision course 2023. So the prelims is about to happen end of May. The prelims of UPSC is coming, and CSET, as we all know, is becoming more and more difficult. So any of you who wants to join the CSET or prepare for their CSET can join the Drishti IAS, and the course is starting from 20th of February and is in live online mode. And you can have further information by downloading the Drishti Learning app. Now it's time for the mains practice question, and the question is for 10 marks, and it says, in context of today's scenario, give examples why the anti-cheating law of Uttarakhand is considered important. Talk about few of its provisions also. So I've given you an easy one. You just have to talk about that why the anti-cheating law of Uttarakhand is important, and few of the provisions that I've also told you. So try to do your answer writing practice, and that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.